the man that they have vilified so much, the Minister of Finance, Omar Davies.
Hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now, stop playing. Support, support, support. The like button is free, heard?
Davies, the Minister of Finance, Omar Davies. He managed the macroeconomic indicators so well that we passed 12 IMF tests straight. And as a result of that, by 1995, I was able to say to the IMF, tata and goodbye. I'm coming now to an issue that is very much alive today. And it is about financial management. All that we accomplished was done at the same time that we had to protect 1.5 million deposit accounts and 570,000 insurance policy holders out of our own resources. Let the record show not one of them lost a single dollar.
That's right.
I'm not surprised that there was no final report about FinSac, because the commissioners could not find what they were sent in to look for. And indeed, the full story had been told in Parliament and was in testimony before the commissioners. When that happened, the multilateral financial institution said to us, yes, we persuaded you to open the system and to grant license because we wanted to have competition in the financial markets. But when they failed, they said to us, this is what a market economy means. They took the risk. Let them pay the price. Drive it to the wall. As a responsible government, we had to look at questions of trust and confidence. For local depositors, what would it mean to Jamaicans overseas that were sending money back home? We had to look what would be the social consequences of a meltdown. And I think some of you will remember that special conference that I summoned at National Arena. And there is a hard-working farmer, an honest man, a firm Christian believer. I've known him for a very long time. Unlike some, he come to conference, but he don't talk. And I was on the platform, and when I saw Eric Thompson going to the mic, I said, my God, what is he going to say? How many of you remember what he said? He said, comrade leader, made a business with the bank name. All the bank down of Falmouth, a few bank. Because if you never give them license, them couldn't get my money. I am a hard working man, as you know. Anytime me go down there and me ask for my money and me can't get it, me I go back to Daniel Town, and the next words were what really shocked me. And I'm going to sharpen my cutlass and blood is going to flow like a river down the Martha Brae. And you know the funny thing, that was a Sunday. The Friday passing through Falmouth and him flagged me down. And he said not one word about his conference presentation. He was complaining to me that Bull not pulling him weight in the constituency and I must get rid of him. Now after that experience, we put in place the Jamaica Deposit Insurance Company to protect small and medium-sized depositors in full. We also created the Financial Services Securities Commission to regulate institutions that deal with insurance, pensions, and securities in order that investors and depositors would be alerted in advance of any failure and therefore spared any repeat. Now we come to SSA. And I ask, how could any government in their right senses possibly think that the failure of a licensed institution to repay 200 investors whose money has vanished could become an issue of national secrecy? It is a matter which is of concern to the entire nation and our standing in the world. And for them to have thought so borders on lunacy when one of the members is a living legend. I want to be very clear. Nobody is singling out Bolt for any special treatment. He hasn't asked for it, and I don't think he expects it. But the widowers, the pensioners, and all the persons who were robbed have a compelling interest in finding out how the money goes. Usain Bolt is a loyal Jamaican who is an international icon. He's not going to use the same image or rhetoric as his parishioner, Mr. Thompson from North Trelawney also. But the fact is, even if he kept quiet about it, there is an interest because you have some publications that track the income and the worth of athletic stars and of musical stars. So they have been following the story. And when they see a sudden dip in the account, they're going to take notice of it. So it is just sheer stupidity for them to pretend that this thing can happen and the opposition is not going to say anything about it. We're not creating any partisan issue out of it. This is a national issue. By my own profession and disposition, I don't like to engage in rumor, speculation, or gossip. I know there is a legal presumption of innocence to which all accused are entitled. If anyone who thinks that whatever Ms. Panton is accused of doing, if in fact she did anything could be done by her alone, must still believe that the world is flat.
That is funny, honey.
First, people who make that kind of criticism don't understand media. You use all forms of communication, and it's my job. My job is to bring to the public the political understanding of issues. I get a sense from Jamaicans that they like that there are some Jamaicans who want to make excuses for government failure. This is an ultimate failure of the government.
We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the parliament. Shift the election. Shift everything. Remove them out there. Take out the cockroach. Take out the thief. Take out the criminal them. Take out the thief them. Take out the murderer them. Take out the gang leader them. Out of parliament. Take them out from Portland. Take them out. I hear Portland. Never Portland. Why not travel to Portland? Take out somebody, man or woman.
Justice demands that the thief or thieves be found and receivers of the stolen money, if any, end up where those who have been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction go, where criminals belong. Toll's money was not lost, it was stolen. Plain as daylight. We must not prejudice the right of fair trial of any accused. But there are issues which, according to our constitutional entitlement of free speech, demand ventilation and not a muzzle. In 1998, Mr. Eric Thompson would have had no legal recourse for a failure of his bank. But now, there's the FSC. Mr. Bolt has very competent lawyers. I do not intend or need to offer them legal advice. But what I would say is, if they have not already done so, the FSC had better pad up a top-class legal team. Because the question is going to arise, has there been a breach of its statutory duties? And they certainly expose themselves to civil action in our courts by any of the or all of the 200 investors whose money has disappeared.
Something like my wisdom warriors. Something like my
I
wisdom
want
warriors.
to move to an area which demonstrates the fundamental difference between our two political parties. The PNP has always endorsed the critical value of strong economic indicators. Let no one tell you otherwise. But the PNP does not believe macroeconomic stability is an end in itself. We recognize it is a vital foundation upon which to build sustained economic growth and lasting social progress. Plainly put, we don't only want a good report card for the multilateral financial institutions, but more so, we want the money and the performance measures to be used as the key to ensuring development in order to accentuate the full release of our human potential and to yield a satisfying quality of life for our Jamaican people. Norman Manley in 1938 espoused the party's commitment to place an emphasis on the masses who were poor, weak, and vulnerable. That has endured throughout the ages as a priority for all PNP administrations. The party's record of social intervention throughout all its terms in government, from Norman Manley to Portia Simpson Miller, is well documented. Our policy initiatives in the social sector have been consistently based on rigorous analysis that underpin our policies.
Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, when you hear where Mr. Patterson have to say, we just want to clip up that part in terms of, you see on board, Fin Saga, also the policies where they put in place, how they always have structured things in such a way to take it to the next level, from one level to the next. And I believe, ladies and gentlemen, if we had an opposing party that was honest and gave credit to the other party and then advanced whatever they put in place afterwards to take it to another level, that would do well for our people. But in this case, it's like they want to take away credit, and that's not good character at all. Give the people the credit that they deserve, and then you do what you do, and then you get the credit that you deserve, and then you guys keep building the country. At the end of the day, it should be about the people. And in this instance, ladies and gentlemen, we all have to admit that the SSL saga is not one that the JLP wants to take credit for, and they are the ones that is responsible ultimately for giving SSL a license when the PNP, and the evidence is there, the PNP did not give them any license, ladies and gentlemen. They were red flagged. These are the facts. You understand? And then now they want to muzzle social media. Here the DPP come out want to muzzle people talking about it could hurt the case and one bag of foolishness. I've never seen no big case nowhere else in the world that the media took on and the DPP, Department of Public Prosecution, was advising people to hush, Don't talk so much about it. Hush. Right? And then even giving ideas too. Giving an idea to the defense. You know, and it's just the principle and the thing, you know, man. When you look at it, it just looks so bad, you know. You know, the defense probably have that idea already to do whatever she said, but for her to come out publicly and even mention it, man, listen, we have to admit, ladies and gentlemen, that we are living in one of the weirdest times in our political history. And this election is one election that some people are not going to wake up, you know. Some people are still going to be asleep. You understand? And think that this government that's in power right now should get a third term. But let me tell you something. Slavery, oppression, all that is bad. And I am not exaggerating. All that is bad is coming to us eventually with this government in power. All that is bad, ladies and gentlemen. After 9 years, I want you to look around and remember where you were 9 years ago. And tell me that you are prosperous. Tell me that you can open your door without and feel like you can go to your bed and not be terrified of what might happen to you. I don't business we're in Jamaica there. If you left your door open, you are going to be terrified that somebody is going to come in there and come do you something. You understand? I'm talking about terrified. These are the facts. And if you're not terrified of leaving your money in the bank after the SSL saga, I don't know what to tell you. This company was on the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. On the stock market. Nobody has been held accountable yet, and them are one smarty when them are claim to say is guilty. We all know that it's impossible for one person to pull off what happened in SSL. But anyway, I digress. This is not about me, but you know, sometimes I tell you what. But big up on yourself and remember. Hey y'all, please remember to hit the like button. I know y'all come in sometimes and y'all forget, but the main thing, man, y'all gotta hit the like button, man, and share the live stream. Come on now, stop playing. Support, support, support. The like button is free, right?